All right, Patrick, let's get going here.
All right.
Gonna talk about video. This is one of the exciting aspects of new funnels, new services, and we're all familiar with what video is. But Patrick, why don't you introduce yourself and what are we going to talk about specifically related to Vidalytics?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Patrick Stiles, founder, CEO of Vidalytics. We're going to be talking about how agencies are leaving a lot of money on the table that they can be picking up by adding more video work, implementation with the work that they're already doing.
I love it. I love it. And we've got a presentation. We're going to get to that. But Patrick and I thought, just to set the tone here, because video is such a broad spectrum keyword, we want to just do some, FAQs for you to get started, to make sure you understand what you are to this partner track and what this is to you. So Patrick, talk to me about obviously in as short of time frame as we have, the state of the union with related to video inbound services. What's the state of the union? What's going on right now? Why does Vidalytics exist?
Yeah. The state of the union with inbound marketing when it comes to video is that I would say a few things. One is that the technology, the capabilities, the effectiveness of videos are at heights they've never been before. And there's some big changes, especially with interactive video that's coming out. That's really exciting. We can talk a little bit about that, Vidalytics' take on it. But also what's really interesting is when I talk to agencies, when I talk to even, clients and stuff like that, that are even, doing video already, even effectively, is that they're still not taking advantage of a lot of the tools that are out there. It's shocking how often I hear, I just put my videos on YouTube, it's free, why not? And, our stance on that, and of course we're biased, is that, YouTube is going to be one of the most expensive places to put your video because of the traffic leaks, because of the links on it, because of ads that can now run on every single video, even if monetization is turned off, all of that. We equate it to managing an email list, marketing automation from like a personal Gmail account.
Yeah, it's like owned media versus you're kind of developing a more social presence on a good search engine, which I think, what would you say to the agencies that want to do both? I want to host my own video. I want to create my own video libraries. I want to track and have that data. Is there a problem with doing both YouTube and...
You mean also using YouTube?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And we have a YouTube channel. I'm not anti-YouTube. It's just that it has a specific place. And at the end of the day, YouTube is a social network. It's also the second biggest search engine. I'm sure we've all heard the stats. We're all marketers, but it's, it has its time and place, and it's not on the website. On the website, that's to turn that click into a customer, into a lead. It's to really capitalize on all that hard work that it took to get that click onto the website. But, with YouTube, we like it as more of, building a channel, building an audience on YouTube. And then once we get it off, that's a different story. And it's a little bit like, well, I have a Facebook page. Do I still need a website? And it's like, yeah, absolutely. Those are two totally different things, but of course we know that because, social media is a lot more kind of mature in that regard.
Awesome. Awesome. So I've got clients, I'm doing typical traffic driving strategies, maybe content, SEO, building out the funnels for them. What are my clients saying that would be a good sort of introductory conversation for a platform like Vidalytics?
Well, I think that practically, any kind of client, could potentially fit with this as long as they have a video on their website, right? That's kind of the bare minimum bar to jump over to qualify. But here's the thing, this obviously has a lot to do with HubSpot, this partner tracks, kind of thing. And anybody that's doing a HubSpot implementation, it's like, okay, well, you have marketing automation, you have HubSpot, you have emails, and somebody that's that sophisticated, that's hiring an agency to help set that up, is likely going to have video and is going to benefit from marrying their video and their marketing automation so that those two systems are talking to each other, and so that they're also turning the videos on their website into lead generating machines, meaning that the video can collect emails. So, and we can kind of talk more about that, specifically why, we think every single video should have an opt-in form on it.
Of course. And then we have a choose your own adventure feature. I don't want to get too far ahead, but there's some cool stuff that we're going to show you in the short period we have. We got about 15 minutes. Go ahead and share your screen. Let's jump to a quick sort of use case customer testimonial I think we want to start on, and then we'll get into the partner track, and then we'll show you why you should get on this partner track.
All right, cool. So yeah, so here we have Tim Houston, one of our partners that's, just making over 20 grand a year from just making, referrals to us. But, we can talk more about Tim and how he's doing that. One thing, before I kind of talk into a use case, I kind of want to just kind of like zoom out and set the stage here of like why Vidalytics even decided to, join, partners tracks. And this is Jeff Salzenstein, one of our users, former top 100 tennis player in the world. And he sent this voice message not long ago.
Waiting to pay you money to set up all my Vidalytics. I need to pay someone, $1,000, $2,000, whatever.
So I'll leave the rest of that into the slide deck that you can check out, in our kind of area inside of partners tracks. But I just kind of want to highlight here that this is a user that's like, I need to hire an agency. So we're like, okay, the services that we're doing for enterprise clients that pay us, mid 5 figures a year just for video hosting, we really roll out the red carpet for them and we help them optimize and maximize their videos. But we just can't do that for every single user, and we need agencies to kind of partner with to do that. So that's excuse me. Oh my. So that's kind of like what we're doing here. So let me show you some of these easy peasy services that practically any client could use, even if they're not coming to you for video work, and certainly not to where you have to go out and get like a white label video production house or bring that in-house or anything like that. That's not what we're talking about here. So, we're talking about this a moment ago. Ms. Client says HubSpot, Klaviyo, SMS, that kind of thing. Well, you can actually do a video marketing automation quick launch. And this is where you connect their email platform over to Vidalytics. And then Vidalytics also can tag those contacts inside of a CRM. So inside of Vidalytics, you can, set up like a HubSpot implementation, and then when somebody is watching the video, this is our take on it. And this is why I think every single video should have an opt-in form on it as well. With Vidalytics, you can have that opt-in appear when the video is paused, right? That's a clear-cut sign that they're about to bounce and that they're, don't have time or whatever to consume this video, but it's, you can still capture that lead and get that information so you can follow up with them later. But then what Vidalytics can also do is tag that contact as it beams over to the CRM system. So it's like, hey, they watched this much of this specific video, and maybe they saw the price in that video, but they didn't purchase, which means that's a clear opportunity that maybe price was a factor there for them not to buy. So that's a good opportunity to send them a coupon. But say they didn't see the price, well, then why would you send a coupon? That's discounting unnecessarily. So this is the type of kind of marriage that can happen between video marketing and the video marketing video marketing and the marketing automation stack.
I think that's killer. Let's real quickly, because what jumps to my agency brain right now is a couple things. It's like, okay, well, you're talking about a pretty robust video implementation service. What I'm thinking is the big carrot is like, I want to roll this out. So where does this fit in the real world? So clients need leads, of course, but give us just a couple real world examples, just so we can kind of put this into context, I think.
You mean of like where you would deploy this for a client?
Yeah. What's the space and what's the situation where most of your demand comes in? Maybe there's a couple sectors or a couple use cases for this type of a service. And I'm talking about implementing Vidalytics, managing, obviously, the integration with HubSpot, and routine maintenance is what I would call it. But under that can be a bunch of different tasks. But what are the typical use cases and scenarios where an agency, in your opinion, would fit right in?
Yeah. Well, I think any client that's working with a funnel, with kind of landing pages, with conversions, any kind of conversion focus here is where Vidalytics is going to shine. I mean, that's what basically everything inside of Vidalytics is built to do. However, it doesn't have to be that kind of clear cut of a use case where it's like, oh, hey, we're buying traffic, we're driving it to this page, we're trying to turn it into a conversion day one kind of thing. It can also be the situation where it's like, hey, they have a marketing website, they have videos kind of scattered throughout that. And it's like, let's get all those videos communicating with the marketing automation, with the HubSpot, with the Klaviyos, with those types of things. And then of course, mentioning Klaviyo, the other one there is that similar to kind of the marketing website that is more kind of like less focused and linear, is like an e-commerce website. So somebody, has e-commerce, videos, in a Shopify store. Those are things that should absolutely be, collecting leads and doing some of that hard work. I mean, I think we've seen a lot of the stats out there that customers today absolutely want to watch a video about a product. I think it's something like 60 or 70% more likely to buy when they watch a video about a product. So people are consuming the videos. They want the videos. They're going and seeking that information out. So it's a clear-cut opportunity to capture leads, to send that over to the CRM, and to get that kind of marriage going.
Yep. I love it. Okay, perfect. I'll stop interrupting for a little bit.
All right, sure. So yeah. So I just showed you that. So this type of implementation can easily, garner $1,000 to $2,500. I ran through a good amount of it just now clicking through tabs, but, I would estimate for somebody that's, first time doing this, could easily take 3 to 10 hours on the high side. So the sort of thing that's not super labor intensive, pretty easy to set up. We're talking a moment ago, though, about like conversions and funnels and those types of things. So what if Mixed Client says, landing page, conversions, ads, retargeting? Well, Vidalytics can absolutely marry to that with a video conversion on it. And this is something that we actually do in-house. And this is where you're moving the videos over to Vidalytics, which my team can actually do that for you. Set up tracking, best practices, connect their ads and tracking to the videos. And then you're actually kind of steering the ship and looking at the analytics to see what's working best. So let me show you some of these. So first of all, this is our kind of a conversion audit template here that you can get when you're a partner of ours. And this is just where the thing should have like no color on it. So either it's on and it shouldn't be, or the inverse of that. So you just want to make sure that it has no color on the sheet. And this spits out, basically the best practices on Vidalytics, and where you can set up conversion tracking on the stats of Vidalytics, where you can see not only where people are watching to in the video before they drop off and bounce, but actually a graph like this, which is conversion tracking, meaning that it shows you how far somebody watches into the video before they purchase. And why is that important? Well, it tells you what parts of your videos or what videos are actually driving sales and which ones are just getting engagement. Because at the end of the day, it's about results. And this is what you can show a client. You can also pass over tracking data from an ad platform with UTM parameters, whether it's or URL parameters, whether it's UTMs or some other kind of tracking system, and then start looking at how different groups of users are engaging with the videos, or comparing two different video stats side by side. So this stuff really kind of puts the the proof in the pudding for the video marketing. And this is one of the other things, is that videos tend to be a black box, right? People kind of set them up and they maybe know if it's working or not, like if it's driving sales, but they don't necessarily know anything, what happens once the video, the play button is pressed. So these types of insights, these type of analytics really kind of change things for the clients, because it's not only like, hey, I can set this up for you, but I can prove that it's working. I can prove that we're driving results here. So what I like about this, so setting something up like this kind of analytics, kind of setup, $5,000, 5 to 25 hours. And what's really nice about it, though, is that it just totally opens the door for retainer work, where it's like, hey, let me stay on this every single month, making sure that this thing is, set up correctly. New videos are going live with the right setup, which is not terribly difficult once you set it up. It's very minimal work. But then what's really cool here is you can see, hey, this video is crushing it. This one needs some work. And especially if you have those capabilities in-house or a white label partner, you can start to really kind of open the door to more work. And you have those conversation pieces where it's not just like, hey, I don't like the jingle on the homepage video anymore. You can actually back it up with data. So
I love what you said there. Data first, get your clients to start asking questions about the data. Then obviously that snowballs into dozens of different service lines, dozens of different billable hours. I like that.
Yeah, definitely. So a retainer, easily $500,000 a month. I mean, it could be a lot more. It depends on how many videos they have, how many they're producing, and how core to their kind of, marketing strategy that is. So, all right. How we doing, Alex? Anything you want to see for us to dive into? Maybe this interactive videos, the choose your own adventure. This is
let's talk about that. Yeah, this was exciting.
Yeah. This is exciting. And I mean, like, full disclosure, these things are, are going to take a bit more kind of thought, and planning to produce as far as a video goes. And if an agency isn't already producing videos in-house, that's something that they have to consider. However, partnering with the, the right company that could do this is an easy way to implement these. But I believe that interactive videos are going to take over in the next few years. And how this works, Vidalytics takes on it, is that, the viewer is watching the video, and then, they get presented with a question. Like this one's a fitness instructor, really kind of wants to find out what their goals are. So they can talk to that viewer on a more personalized basis. So the question pops up, they get up to 4 different choices that they can choose from. Each choice plays a unique, specific video based on their answer. So obviously here, you can see, hey, do we want to talk to the people trying to lose weight or gain muscle? Because that's a totally different conversation. This thing is perfect for segmenting and really kind of splitting avatars or identifying pain points, or getting to the point where it's like, hey, do you want to see the price? Do you want to see success stories? Do you want to see a demo? Anything like that. It's really putting the control in the hands of the viewer to steer the conversation. A lot like how you would be if you're sitting across the table from somebody, having a conversation, asking questions, building rapport, and letting that go. So these work great on mobile videos, vertical videos. You can draw clickable areas onto the video so you don't use the buttons, and you can have as many branches as you want inside of Vidalytics so that you can keep splitting and personalizing the video as it goes on. So the options there are really kind of endless, but a typical explainer video, $5,000 to $35,000. That's kind of the going rate that we've seen across the board. You make it interactive and you can easily double that rate. And that's a fair deal. That's a fair exchange of value, because one, it's a lot more work, right? It's not just like one video. It's kind of like a few in one. But for the client, what that means is that that video can now be used in so many more places. It can capture broader traffic and convert it at a higher rate than before.
And I'm monitoring time, but I've got a quick, I think, relevant use case scenario. So
yeah,
for those of you in industries where you want to convert website traffic using a sort of guided story that you typically think chat bots, and there are certain industries like pharmaceutical that don't allow you to put a human in that chat because of all the HIPAA compliance issues that could bring. If I'm chatting and I'm talking about a disease I have and it's a human on the other end, that could be a lawsuit waiting to happen. But this video choose your own adventure allows industries like that to provide lots of different answers to questions in a non-text format, in an interactive video format. So you can essentially go to your client that has a bot, and bots typically don't work, and say, let me turn that bot into a choose your own adventure sort of interactive video for you, and put it on that page, replace the bot, see conversions go up, get all that that awesome data, and then go to them saying, let's do this on every page of your website.
Absolutely. And one other thing about this, maybe not for the HIPAA kind of situation, but the answers that they're choosing will be stored in Vidalytics, and you can beam it over to the CRM. So we've had some kind of beta users that are early adopters of this, where they have a sales team and they're like, hey, we want to know what answers they put in there. Like, what are their goals? What's their price range, et cetera. Really good for lead qualification. So,
and do they map to form? If I have a HubSpot form with the same questions as a video, is there a mapping scenario there where sometimes a form gets filled on the website, but sometimes a Vidalytics video gets watched, but the same sort of form fields get filled out, something like that?
We haven't implemented anything like that, but I don't think it'd be terribly hard to store those values. So if somebody has a use case like that, I'd love to take it to our engineers and see, how fast we could implement something like that for them. I think it'd be pretty doable.
Love it. So flexibility for partners. That is a good segue into what you got for partners. You've got a lot of stuff and flexibility.
Yeah, let me jump ahead here. So kind of like I was telling you a moment ago, like in the past, we didn't have much of a partner program. It was a lot of people like Tim Houston here who would just kind of send us leads, and we'd service them. But this was ideal for like an enterprise situation. You can see here, he made over $23,000 in the last year. That was with 6 referrals. So obviously enterprise accounts. Then we have people like Jeff, who, just need more help and stuff. And we have all this kind of horsepower in Vidalytics, which we didn't even crack the surface of. And that's why, we wanted to come out with the Vidalytics partner program and roll it out with partner tracks here. And really, this is a full training on everything inside of Vidalytics, and not just like features like, hey, this is how you click the button, but no, this is the strategy you should deploy. This is what you should be presenting to your client as a result you're going to deliver with the collection of tactics and services that you're going to implement for them. Yeah. talking about, kind of unprecedented access to the product with invites to beta rollouts, first to know product updates, marketing opportunities with co-marketing events, logo and backlink in our partner directory, guest posts, co-selling opportunities. So I don't have a slide for it, but we have an agency that we work with, ROI Machines, and they have a large sales team. They're a big kind of powerhouse, and they just trained everybody on Vidalytics, and they just started pushing people onto the Vidalytics platform as they were building out funnels for these folks. So that's the sort of thing that we can do. But really what we're hoping to get out of Partners Tracks is 30 founding members to join our partner program. And with that, a few things kind of come out that are not publicly available. And the first is early access to agency accounts, which this is a dashboard to manage all of your client accounts, spin up an account, jump into that account, make changes to it, download reports with your logo on it to present things, connect it to a data like Google Data Studio or Tableau. That comes with a certification as well, so that you can actually back up those results you can deliver. But then also as a founding member, something that's really exciting here. Now, one, a private Slack channel that's not going to be available otherwise to join. Ask us anything, whether you're closing a deal or you're setting something up or you need our help. We can move videos. We can set up some of these best practices and stuff like that. So that's what that Slack channel is all about. But the other thing that I really want to highlight here is the partner commission rate. So you go to our website, it's 15%. You go to Wistheus, it's the same. But for Partner Tracks and debuting this program, we've tripled it to 45% of first year revenue. So that's something where, you can join the ranks of like the Tim Houston, getting the cost of a used Honda, in a year's time for a few referrals. Additionally, while we roll out the agency accounts and we build out the partner program that is going to be designed around the partners that join us today, really, what do they want? What's going to be the most valuable for them? We're going to give out free premium accounts of Vidalytics for them to use it as much as they want. So that's really what we have in store for partners to set them up to be as successful as possible. And to do that, they can get started at vidalytics.com/agency.
I love it. So we're going to chat contact information for the right point of contact. There's a few people on your team that they can get with and meet. And this has been really, really insightful. So I think that's enough for everyone to kind of think about their own use cases, figure out if this is an option for them, get in touch with the team, Patrick's team at Vidalytics, and start to work on your first implementation together and start going after one of those 30 spots.
Awesome. Definitely.
Thank you, Patrick. We'll see you in
Thanks
chat.
so much for having me. All right. See ya.